What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, and Manchester United are back in action again. This time we're in a midweek fixture against Arsenal in Matchday 14 of the Premier League. It is away from home at the Emirates, 8:15 p.m. kickoff tomorrow, and manager Mikel Arteta was appointed head coach at his former club Arsenal, signing a deal until 2023, and this was on December 2019. And Arteta actually took charge of his first time as Arsenal manager in a Premier League fixture against Bournemouth, which ended 1-1 thanks to a second half equaliser from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But on January the 1st, 2020, Arteta did unfortunately for Manchester United get his first win as Arsenal coach in a 2-0 win over Manchester United at the Emirates when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge in his first full season. This was in the 1920 season when I think United finished third in the league. Arteta did also go on to win the FA Cup with Arsenal in 2020, beating Chelsea's Frank Lampard, and that was the last time Arsenal actually won a trophy. And they've not won a trophy, in 4 years now. It's gonna maybe 5, who knows? But yeah, in terms of Arteta's managerial record, Arsenal is the only team he's managed so far in his career. Like I said, he took over from Arsenal. He was announced on the 20th of December, but he actually managed his first game. He was actually kind of in charge. It didn't take effect up until the 22nd of December 2019. So yeah, he's managed 252 matches, won 149, drawn 43, lost 60, and he has a win percentage of 59.13, which is pretty decent, I think, in my opinion. But in terms of a head-to-head with Arsenal last season, Manchester United did unfortunately lose both games at home. Late, I think the second to last game of the season, or one of the, really late on in the season last season. This was on the 12th of May 2024. We lost 1-0 at Old Trafford due to Trossard scoring in the 20th minute. But then away from home early last season, on the 3rd of September 2023, we lost 3-1. We did actually take the lead through Marcus Rashford, but then Odegaard scored in the 28th minute, and then Rice scored in the 6th minute of injury time in the second half, and then Jesus scored in the 11th minute of injury time in the second half as well. So Arsenal did go on to win that game 3-1. So they took 6 points off us last season. Last season also, Arteta finished second with 89 points in the league, won 28, drawn 5, lost 5, and scored 91 goals, conceded 29, had a goal difference of plus 62 as well, and they only lost out to the Man City by winning the league 2 points. So Manchester City finished with 91 points and Arsenal finished on 89, so they were unfortunate to miss out on the Premier League title last season as well. So in terms of some insights for the game, Arsenal have won their last 3 Premier League games against Manchester United. They've never won 4 in a row against the Red Devils in their league history. Manchester United have lost 7 of their last 9 Premier League away games against Arsenal, drawing 1 and winning 1, and are winless in 6 visits to the Emirates, drawing 1 and losing 5. And drawing 1 and losing 5, losing the last 3 in a row, unfortunately, for United. Arsenal's last 3 Premier League games against Manchester United have seen them win 3-1, 3-2 and 3-1 again. The last team to score 3+ goals in more consecutive home games against the Red Devils were the Gunners themselves, who did so 7 times in a row between 1970 and 1978. Arsenal have won just 2 of their 17 evening kickoffs. I'm not sure how this stat is relevant against Manchester United in the Premier League, drawing 9 and losing 6, though one of those was in their most recent such home game in January 2020, where they won 2-0. I think that was that game where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge, and that was Arteta's first win as Arsenal manager. Manchester United have won 6 of their last 7 midweek Premier League games, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, of course, and losing just 1, with these games producing 38 goals in total. scoring 23 and conceding 15. I'm not sure how relevant that stat is either, but anyway, what have you. So Arsenal are coming into this game with a really decent run of form. They have won their last 3 games in all competitions. Very recently, they did beat West Ham 5-2 on Saturday a couple of days ago, and then they beat Sporting as well in midweek last week. And then also, after the international break, Arsenal did also beat Nottingham Forest at home as well, 3-0. So they won against Forest 3-0, they won against Sporting 5-1, and they won against West Ham 5-2 as well. So they've been scoring a lot of goals. So this is going to be a very tough game for us. But yeah, Arsenal, in terms of team news, Mikel Arteta is waiting on the fitness of Thomas Partey and Mikel Moreno, but Ben White looks certain to remain absent. Tomiyasu is another who has been out of action, while there have been doubt around influential centre-back Gabriel, who has been treated carefully after picking up a niggle in the Champions League win at Amorim's former club Sporting. So let's have a look at how Arsenal are going to be lining up. This is how they're most probably going to be lining up. You can see David Raya in net, of course. You're going to be having Timber at right back coming in for Ben White, who is going to be out. Then you've got obviously the centre-back pairing of Gabriel and Saliba, who are very solid partnership, very impressive defensive partnership. They are Califury as well at left-back. Of course, last season we did see Zinchenko a lot. In the midfield, you've got Odegaard, Jorginho and Rice. Odegaard playing it and most probably an advanced number 10 position. Then Saka, Havertz and Trossard making up the front 3 attacking positions. So in terms of how Arsenal like to play, usually they do set up in the low build-up phase. Arteta sets his team up in a 4-2-4 formation in the low build-up. The strikers start high, so Odegaard does push up, and then you've got Saka and Trossard kind of going really far out wide, creating a massive space between the midfield and the back line to drop into. And they also play with a inverted fullback as well sometimes. Arsenal last season, we did see Zinchenko invert into midfield. This season, Califury sometimes inverts during the build-up as well, giving Arsenal an extra midfielder. This creates more options in the centre and less space between the players as well. Arteta likes this because he prioritises playing through the middle. Most teams do like playing through the middle as well. In the high build-up phase, Arteta's Arsenal set up in a 3-2-2-3 formation with 4 players in a midfield, in a box midfield, working together to create numerical superiority in the middle of the park. The inverted fullback usually plays as one of the holding midfielders in this phase of the game, and a massive aspect of Arsenal's high possession build-up is they keep a high back line. This helps in the counter press because they get closer to the centre as well. They also like attacking the half space. Arsenal are an excellent team in the final third. They create many chances, mainly by attacking the space between the opposition centre-back and full-back as well. They also like the use of overlaps. Arsenal use the overlap to produce opportunities in the final third. When the winger gets the ball, the ball side full-back quickly makes an overlap, creating a 2v1 on the wing as well. Winger movement. Mikel Arteta has deployed a movement with the winger and the full-back where the winger inverts before receiving the ball, finding the pockets as well. Third man runs, and obviously they're a threat from corners. I think it's Gabriel who has scored from set pieces. There are going to be a threat from set pieces, corners. They have different routines, always changing them from time to time to prevent being too predictable as well. So without the ball, defensively, they do look to be aggressive. They always look to be aggressive without the ball. This shows in their high pressure. And, they do look to kind of press you high when you lose the ball and in your own defensive third as well. In the low press, Arsenal do set up in a 4-4-2 formation in a mid block. When the opposition is able to play out of the press, they do drop back into a 4-4-2 formation, probably with Odegaard pushing up next to Havertz as well. In the defensive transitions, they position many players centrally, creating numerical advantages in midfield. And then offensive transitions as well. Arteta wants his team to counter-attack in their offensive transitions as well. They do this with a high tempo. often attacking the spaces between the centre-backs and full-backs. They're a really good, highly drilled team. They're a really good side, and it just goes to show how, even though Mikel Arteta hasn't won a trophy since, FA Cup in 2020, Arsenal have been performing better in the league than Manchester United. So I think Arteta is decent, but Arsenal fans are saying that they should have won the league by now, or they should need to be challenging. They're not seeing enough from Arteta to kind of challenge Man City now, even though this season so far Man City have kind of fallen off. Liverpool have kind of taken over, and Arsenal still aren't really there in the title race, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so in terms of summary of their tactics, usually they start in a 4-3-3. It can be a 4-2-3-1 defensive shape as well, or a 4-4-2 defensive shape. Aggressive attacking transitions, high defensive standards. Gabriel and Saliba are very good. They know when to press. They know when to drop off. They do like to man-to-man press as well. If Man United are going to be playing out from the back, I think Onana and Man United might get caught out playing out. So we need to be kind of wary of that. False 9 in Havertz as well. Havertz likes to drop back. Make that kind of overload in the centre of the pitch. If you've got Odegaard in the number 10 as well, then they can make that little box between Havertz, Jorginho, Odegaard, and Havertz as well. Then sometimes you've got Trossard and Saka making making runs out wide as well. So they can change the way they play as well. Counter-attack aggressively as well. They're brilliant at set plays. Can't be understated how good they are. They're really good at set plays as well. Star man going to be Bukayo Saka. He's going to cause massive problems to Manchester United. He can dribble, he can shoot, he provides the width, he's clinical in the final third, always seems to make the right decision when to shoot and when to pass. So very good in the final third, clinical in the final third. In 12 Premier League games so far this season, the ones he's played in, I think he did miss one Premier League game. He scored 5 goals and he's provided 11 assists as well. I think last match against West Ham he did provide 3 assists and he scored a goal as well. So yeah, he's a very dangerous player. I'm not sure if he scored or not, but he definitely did provide 3 assists. So Manchester United, let's talk about Manchester United a little bit. Manchester United last game, we did beat Everton, got the 3 points, clean sheet, but we could have been punished on the break against a better side. One better in the final third, who were more kind of clinical in terms of their passing, in terms of breaking the lines that Man United had. If Everton were more clinical in the final third, they had better players, then we most probably would have conceded at Old Trafford, and I think we were lucky to keep a clean sheet. We probably did deserve the 3 points, but if we are open like that against Arsenal, Arsenal are going to pick us apart. So we have to be kind of more tighter in terms of defensively. Bodo Glimt, again, we did dominate the game. We had lots of chances and should have won by more, and it was poor goals to give away, but we did get the 3 points. And then against Ipswich, Ruben Amorim's first game, it was a poor result. We were poor going forward, no cutting edge really, too much side-to-side passing between the centre-backs, and Onana basically saved us because Ipswich probably should have won that game. But yeah, we are unbeaten in our last 5 or 6 games in all comps, I think. So we are coming into this game with some decent form. I think our last loss was against West Ham when Erik ten Hag got sacked the following day. But yeah, we are unbeaten since then. In terms of team news, we are going to be without Lisandro Martinez. We are going to be without Kobbie Mainoo because they picked up second half bookings in Sunday's 4-0 victory over Everton at Old Trafford. So they are serving a 1-match suspension. However, there is good news with the possible inclusion of Leny Yoro in the Matchday squad for the first time since his summer move from Lille. However, we have recently learned that obviously Lindelof is most probably going to be out. Evans is still going to be out as well. But Luke Shaw, the new injury, is also out of the Matchday squad against Arsenal. So let's just quickly have a look at that. So the good thing about recording these videos really late is that you can kind of predict, you can make changes to your lineup and stuff. I'm recording this pretty late. It is almost 12 o'clock. But yeah, well, let's have a look at this. Luke Shaw has suffered a small setback. We are all with you. So this was first reported by this guy on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. Luke Shaw is injured again, and unfortunately not part of the travelling squad. Mazraoui is fine. He's travelled, and a lot of people, of course, are going to be kind of disappointed that Luke Shaw is out injured again. But what can you do? It is what it is. There's not much that we can do. Luke Shaw has suffered a small setback, and he did confirm this on his Twitter. So he says, hi guys, it's hurting a lot having to write this, as I really thought I had got through my recent struggles and was on a positive path going forward. But unfortunately, I've had a small setback. I've been through a lot and had lots of ups and downs, but this has definitely been my toughest period. I'm absolutely devastated, and it's extremely tough to come to terms with the reality at this moment. I understand there is gonna be people frustrated, angry, disappointed, and I understand all that. There is no one feeling that more than me at this moment in time. But what I can promise is that I will do everything I can to come back better soon to help this club achieve its ambitions this season. Thank you to everyone for the support. It really doesn't go unnoticed, and I really do appreciate it. So that's Luke Shaw's statement on Instagram, and it is really unfortunate that that he is been ruled out for this game against Arsenal, because he was definitely in my starting lineup. I would have started him because Lisandro Martinez is injured, and I was really looking forward to Luke Shaw starting against Arsenal, because I feel like the games that we have seen him against Bodo Glimt and against Everton, when he came on, he did have a good, decent performance. He had really good high pass accuracy, and he was playing out from the back really well, receiving it from Onana and then playing it to Dalot, and then we played out the press really well when Everton were trying to press us on the weekend. So really unfortunate that Luke Shaw has been ruled out of this game against Arsenal. But there's not much that we can do. We just have to kind of go with it. So let's have a look at my starting lineup. So this is my starting lineup that I've gone with. A lot of it, of course, is going to be normal, as in the players pick themselves. So of course Onana is in net, Mazraoui and De Ligt pick themselves, and of course I was going to have Luke Shaw as the left centre back, but he is out injured unfortunately, so I put in Maguire simply because I don't think we have anyone else. I personally wouldn't start Leny Yoro. I think it's too early for him. Maybe he can get a couple minutes off the bench. He does lack match fitness as well, so coming into and starting a big game like Arsenal is going to be a really high demand on Leny Yoro. So personally, I wouldn't start him, and I think Maguire is the only centre-back that we have that can play there. Of course, what you could do is you could drop Casemiro in at centre-back and then play Ugarte, and who else can you play? Maybe Eriksen or Bruno in that double pivot. But I've gone with Ugarte and Casemiro in that double pivot simply because I want more protection there, because Arsenal are really good going forward, so I want some more protection there. I really don't want to see Ugarte and Bruno as a midfield double pivot against Everton. Yes, against sides where Manchester United are going to be dominating the ball, then I wouldn't mind seeing Bruno and Ugarte in the middle. Of course, Ahmad at right wing back picks himself. He's probably the first name on the team sheet. He's been playing really well the past couple of games. Dalot, a lot of people said he's been poor the past couple of games. I think he's been okay. I don't think he's been amazing. But I think his performance has been slightly exaggerated with regards to how poor he's been. I think he's been okay. I don't think he's been awful, like how some people have been saying. So Dalot comes in at left wing back, but that left side, I'm looking at that left side now. You got the Maguire, Dalot, and Casemiro triangle there. Arsenal could target that left side. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. They could definitely target that left side and going, I think defensively. But then I've gone, in terms of my front three, I've gone with Rashford playing that left 10, Bruno Fernandes and Højlund up front. So I do believe Højlund is going to come back into the starting 11. I think he's going to start. Bruno is going to start as well. Of course, he's captain. Bruno has been playing well recently as well. Since coming back from the international break, he's picked up a couple of assists. So I've really been impressed by Bruno. Hopefully he can turn up against Arsenal tomorrow or today as well. In terms of Manchester United star man, I am going to have to go with Ahmad. Ahmad has been on fire lately, scoring against PAOK and providing a lot of assists as well lately as well. Kind of playing really well, locking down that that right wing back position. I do know, I understand why some Manchester United fans do want to see him play further forward, but I just don't think we have anyone else in that right wing back position that can allow Amad Diallo to play in one of them number 10 positions. Not only that, but we are pretty much stacked in their positions as well in terms of the number 10 and the striker. Of course, Mount can play there, Xerxes can play there as well, Garnacho can play there as well. Who else? I think that's pretty much it. But there, Garnacho, Mount, Xerxes, they can all play in any of the forward three positions. So yeah, it's really going to be tough for Amad to get into one of them number 10 positions. But if kind of the way we line up, if Ruben Amorim can't allow Amad that creative license to move forward and be more creative and not allow that shackle defensively, then there's no reason as to why Amad can't lock down that right wing back position. So yeah, star man for Manchester United for me is going to be Amad, playing really well. Hopefully he can continue his good form and pick up a couple more goals and assists against Arsenal. So how do you beat Arsenal? Of course, pace, power, strength, unpredictability. I want us to play on the counter, and that's where we're going to get that pace and power on the counter. I think Højlund can definitely stretch the Arsenal defence, and Rashford as well. He can definitely stretch the Arsenal defence. In terms of Rashford, I've been seeing a lot of clips and little people saying that he's lost a yard of pace, and I kind of do see it. I kind of do understand where people are coming from. Hopefully Rashford does get back to and we see that kind of that form that we've seen under Erik ten Hag and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and then we can see that kind of pace that Marcus Rashford has on the counter attack, because I do want Manchester United to play on the counter against Arsenal as well. Intensity, midfield battle, we have to absolutely dominate that midfield, and that's why I've gone with Ugarte and Casemiro. We need dogs in that midfield, man. Casemiro and Ugarte in the middle, providing that physicality. Ugarte especially is a flipping dog, man. Man gets about the place and just hustles and harries and is just annoying to play against. And yeah, I would pretty much hate to play against Ugarte because he's always there kind of nibbling away at you and trying to get a tackle in. And Casemiro as well, backing him up. And we did see a good partnership under Ruud van Nistelrooy with Casemiro and Ugarte starting together in the centre of the pitch. So I do want to see them start. Don't let them outnumber us in midfield. I think Odegaard can drop in to make a 3 as well. And then, who's that striker? Sorry, I've forgotten their striker. Let me just check their striker. He drops Havertz. Yeah, that's it. So Odegaard and Havertz can drop in to the midfield to make a 4 with Rice and Jorginho. So we need to make sure that we don't get outnumbered in midfield. I can see us getting outnumbered if Bruno and Rashford don't drop back to make that 4v4 in midfield, that box that Arsenal like to play, that Havertz, Odegaard, Rice, Jorginho box. If Rashford and Bruno can drop in and make a 4v4 in midfield, then I can see us kind of not dominating but kind of cancelling Arsenal out as well. So yeah, we have to finish our chances as well. I don't think we're going to get many chances against this Arsenal side because they are very good defensively. So we have to be clinical. We have to make it count. Any chance that we get, we have to put away. And yeah, so I think we should let them have the ball as well. I don't mind us playing on the counter attack. They do play with a high line as well. So if we can win the ball back in our own defensive third and then counter attack with the pace of Rashford and Højlund, and then also Amad as well. If Arsenal are slow and they don't want to kind of track Amad's runs from our right wing back, then I think we can have some success as well. But yeah, I think that's how you beat him. Finally, I think what we should do is we should have a look at the league table. So let's just pull that up right now. So let me just check if Saka did score. So yeah, Saka scored a penalty against West Ham and he provided 3 assists. So we most definitely have to keep him quiet as well. But yeah, finally, let's have a look at the league table. So let me just get rid of that, close the other tabs. And here's the league table right now. So Manchester United did move up to the top half of the league table after beating Everton 4-0 at home at Old Trafford. So this is the first time, like I previously mentioned, that we have been in the top half of the league since that win against Southampton all the way back in September. So it's nice to see that we are top half of the league, but it is really congested. This middle part of the league is really congested down here. You've got like only a couple of points splitting 4th and 12th. So you've got Brighton here in 23 points, and then you've got Aston Villa there on 19, and that's a total of 4 points splitting the teams between 4th position and 12th position. So if we can beat Arsenal, I know if buts and maybes, I know we don't really want to be working with that now, do we? But you know, if we can beat Arsenal, then obviously it's going to be a really, really good result, really good confidence builder that we can go not toe to toe necessarily, because I don't necessarily want us to kind of be high pressing Arsenal and, you know, kind of be I don't want us to be high pressing Arsenal and going toe to toe with them necessarily. But if we can beat Arsenal and secure the 3 points, then it's going to be a really good result, and I'm absolutely going to have my way with it. I'm going to be so gassed if we do, because I'm not necessarily kind of, you know, anything can happen in a football match, but just for banter wise, it'd be so joke if we go to the Emirates and grab all 3 points, probably derail their title charge as well, and then most probably Liverpool are going to go and run away with it, unfortunately. But it is what it is. We need to be getting into that top four position. So if we can take points off teams above us, then we're most certainly going to be moving up the league, because obviously Arsenal are above us. We take 3 points off them, we move to 22 points, and then we win against Forest on the weekend as well, and then we move to 25 points as well. So most definitely we could be moving up closer to the top 4 if we do pick up 3 points against Arsenal and then Forest, and then we've got Man City as well away from home after that as well. So yeah, I think it's really important that a draw won't do it. I think the next 3 games are really important if we are to if we have any aspirations to finish in the top 4 as well. Not only that, but obviously the league season is 38 games, and we are coming close to almost halfway of the season as well. So a good kind of barometer, a good kind of measure is to see where you are, halfway into the season. So we'll see where we are when we've played 19 games. Most likely that's the position or close around, that's where we'll finish. But you know, if we can pick up 3 points against Arsenal, Forest and Manchester City, then I'll be really confident in terms of finishing in the top 4. We have to win them games because they are above us in the league. So we have to take points. We have to take points away from teams that are above us, because earlier on in the season, certain results didn't go our way, and teams that are below us right now took points off us. So we have to take points off teams that are above us in the league if we are to have any chance of qualifying for the Champions League through our league position. Otherwise, we're going to have to completely rely on the Europa League for the second half of the season. But yeah, that's the league table. But yeah, what's my score prediction? I don't know, man. I want to predict us a win because I really want us to beat Arsenal, because we've not won at the Emirates in such a long time, and we are on a decent run of form. But Luke Shaw is also out injured, you know. So and we've got a couple of suspensions as well. Personally, if you could offer me a draw, I think I'd take it. But you know, a draw isn't really going to help us in terms of closing that gap in terms of getting into the Champions League spaces. So we really do need to get a win here if we are to have any chance of qualifying for the Champions League. And obviously, like I said, we need to be winning against Forest and City as well. But yeah, shall I predict a win? Oh man, it's a difficult one. I think I'm gonna predict. I think I'm gonna predict a 1-1 draw. I think I'm going to go for the draw. I think Arsenal are going to score. United are going to score as well. So scorers, I think I'm going to go with Saka. And for Manchester United, I think I'm going to go with Rasmus Højlund as well. So anyway, that's it from me. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe. And hopefully I'm proven wrong. Hopefully we pick up all 3 points against Arsenal tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.